Dominic Anderson, and I'm the defensive coordinator here at the University of Pikeville.
Wow, so defensive coordinator, that's a big role. You got a lot of guys you have to take care of. And as a kid, did you say, hey, I'm going to be the defensive coordinator for the University of Pikeville?
No, not at all. No, not growing up. As a kid, I pretty much wanted to be a professional football player until I pretty much got injured in college and kind of had to let go of those dreams.
And would you say that what you're doing right now is your dream job, or do you have a dream job that's out there somewhere?
Um, well, yes and no. Ironically, I love what I do, and I don't see myself doing anything that this passionately. Especially, I get to do it and make a living off of it. What I've learned growing up is not too many people get to choose what they want to do for a living. Most people have to kind of do what they have to do to bring home the money. So I'm fortunate enough I get to do this. I'm around football, the sport that I love. I coach. I have a great impression on a lot of young people. So yes, but secretly, I want to be an actor. Yeah, I know. Pretty wild, I know. All the way off.
Oh,
I know. I wish.
that's
I wish
fantastic.
I took some sort of steps in that way, studied some stuff, but I never have. It's more of a, if I ever make it big time and have a whole bunch of money, I would love to get into acting.
Okay, so I sense in the spring our theater department may try to recruit you in. So anything in life spur you on to the path that you're on right now?
Sure. Well, a few things. The first few things that pop out of my head are playing at the high level of St. Thomas Aquinas High School, then Wake Forest University, and almost having that shot to the league. And kind of had a good background for it. Broke my leg, so it was out. And it was tough for me to swallow that pill. It took a while for me to realize, hey, you're not the same. So I kind of had to hang it up. That was probably the first thing. But I didn't get into coaching right away or stay in sports right away. I actually graduated with an economics degree from Wake Forest University, ran back to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I'm from, and got into finance. And my first job was a mortgage banker, got into banking, a financial aid director, so on and so forth. And then I was sitting in my office and just kind of bored and not really passionate about what I was doing. I was making good money, but I wasn't happy. And my girlfriend at the time said, I see you really excited on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Well, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. is college game day during the fall. I see you excited that the most. And so, it got me to thinking, and ended up going back to Wake Forest, my alma mater, and went there for a buddy's wedding. Saw that he was a graduate assistant coach. My coach that I played under was still there. And, I asked him, I said, got a lot of people back that used to play. Would you ever consider bringing me back? He said, of course, Don, we love you. We'd love to have you on board, but you're doing too well doing what you're doing in Miami. You don't want to do that. And he kind of tried to deter me. He said, but then he kind of came back around and said, hey, listen, if you do want to do this, make sure it's something that you love and don't get into it for the money. Because at the time, he made some really good money. And as a younger coach, you think, hey, I'm going to go in there and make that much money. That's not what it was. I ended up leaving a job making $50,000 to make $10,000 as a graduate assistant once I got back into coaching, but I followed my passion, followed what was getting me excited. And so if I could choose to do that and come into work and be excited about it, it wouldn't be so much work. So that's kind of how I got into coaching.
Wow. So could you say in a sentence, would you be able to define your call in a sentence?
For sure. I think that I'm here to make a positive impact on young people, give them insight and guidance on ways to see opportunities that they may have not seen, and ways to learn from mistakes that they don't have to go through, if possible.
And how does your job right now align with what you feel most passionate about? Obviously, it's in the field of football, but how does your particular job right now help you express what you think your life's about?
Just allowing, being able to have a platform to give my testimony, although I pull from a lot of my mentors and just, reading my books and things like that, I also give my personal testimony. And that, I think, resonates with these young people. I got a whole defense that I have to control, listen to, prepare for, and I try to teach them, some of the things that I've learned throughout my life that are going to help them out. And I know they all come from different walks of life. One of my coaches said, you never know what somebody's got packed in their luggage, and I always thought about that. You're right. So I really try to get to know them, let them get to know me, and just be available for them as a sounding board or as a teacher, a mentor, somebody I could help.
Now, you mentioned a couple coaches, but we have all kinds of people who impact us, influence us. Has there been one person who's been most influential on your understanding what you're called to do?
Well, I would probably say my mom. She's the one that encouraged me to follow that dream when it first, got on, kind of came about. Because there was plenty of ways where I could have just stayed in the industry I was in or found something else to do. She knew it, she saw it. And then I learned so much from her growing up, just about strength and sacrifice. So that's probably the person that's impacted me the most. There's a lot of coaches and things that have gotten me more steered to the industry and learned the ways. But she's probably somebody I go back to that I've learned the most, impacted me the most.
And what did you do to get on the track that you're on now? Like the job that you're in, what did you do to get there?
So I was a graduate assistant. After I left the financial world, I was a graduate assistant back in my alma mater, which was a great foot in the door. Division I, got some learning in, and I took a job at Illinois State. And then I ended up leaving Illinois State for a small school, NAIA school in Chicago, Joliet, and took over some more responsibility. Wasn't able to make it, so I ended up leaving there and going to take a high school job in South Florida where I was from. Kind of get the base up underneath myself, my network back up underneath myself. And at that time, I went to go finish my master's degree. That GA at Wake Forest, I only was there 1 year before I took the Illinois State job. So I never finished my master's. So as I'm taking the high school job, I was teaching Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, getting my master's at West Virginia University in an online program. We would have to drive up during the summers, but it was an online program. And I was coaching. So it was a lot, but I was so determined. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. So I finished my master's degree. I ended up teaching PE by the end and ended up being a head high school coach. Only till about a year ago, as I kept my contacts strong and my network strong with Al Holland, because we went to Wake Forest together. I remember 2 weeks before I came up here to interview with Center, I saw him in Florida. I said, what's up, man? I'm ready. You got a job? Opening? He said, I don't have anything yet. Anyways, 2 weeks go by. I said, hey, Al, I'm going up there to interview with Center. It's a position job. He goes, hey, man, I just got to open it. What's up? So I interviewed with Center, and I ended up, same trip, coming and interviewing here. And I told everybody about it. There were some great people at Center. Andy Fry's a great guy. But we did it the right way. And it just was a better situation here, and I think it was a right fit on both ends. So super duper persistency, a little bit of perseverance in there. There was some times where I was humbled and grounded and had to be resilient, and I had a ton of support. Definitely wasn't just me. My wife, family, friends. I mean, it was a lot of people cheering me on, and it was a good deal. So this is where I'm at now.
Right. So when obviously you have so many young men that you deal with, either recruits or players or now soon to be alums, that kind of stuff. When they talk to you about, hey, I'm trying to figure it out, I'm trying to figure out my call, what closing advice would you have for anyone who's trying to figure it out?
Pay attention to yourself. The one thing I always lived by was a couple things. I always had, it's a quirky little acronym I made up on my own, but respect, appreciation, sacrifice, and humility. Those things right there are some of the things, my core value that I've lived by as I've gotten older. The other thing is that you're gonna think a lot of things logically. I'm more of a realist, level-headed. I'm looking at facts, black and white. That's all here. But sometimes, you gotta let your heart and your feelings get involved too. But ultimately, you always gotta go with your gut. Because at the end of the day, that was your instinct. Right or wrong, you're gonna be able to live with yourself. And then, do right, be a good person. Pay attention to yourself. What do you really like? You don't know what you don't know until you try it. So go out there and figure it out. That's the one thing I would tell some young people. Don't be afraid to take chances. And sometimes you got to get thrown in the fire to learn.